Good evening. Good evening. It is Wednesday, September the 15th, 2021. Thank you for joining the Keeping It Real Conversation Show with your host, Camila. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so. It is the name of the show. We are live on Facebook. We are live on Spotify. We're live on YouTube. Just find us. Again, since I've started this show, I believe in 6 degrees of separation. You're one person away, one advice away, one help away, or where you need to be in your destiny. I am so excited tonight. I have some great guests, like I always do. My first guest will be former NFL player Joe Barksdale from Detroit. Um, we'll talk about autism, living with autism, having a purpose with autism, and how he's dealing with that, and autism awareness, of course. And then after him tonight at 8 o'clock, I have a special friend, Lady DJ Legetta Christie will be on tonight, and we're going to talk about family, music, the dynamics of all of that tonight. So I'm excited about that. And again, like I told you guys, I won't have a show this weekend because I will be celebrating my 1 year anniversary with my best friend. And I can't wait. I truly cannot wait. Oh, for just 1 second. Hello?
Hey there, could you resend the link? Because Ryle's not seeing it. Can you resend the link?
To which address?
Actually send it to both David at the David brand as well as Ryle at the David brand.
Okay, I got you. Okay, I'll send it now.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Sorry about that, you guys. Give me just one moment, please. Sorry about that, you guys. We're having some technical difficulties right now. We're just trying to make sure that we get Joe on. So just bear with us for a moment, and we will definitely try to make sure that we get Joe on. I hope you guys are enjoying your Wednesday night. It's been a long day, but I'm glad we're in the land of the living. Also, while I have this moment, I want to give a shout out to Wally Dixon, Mark Bullock for celebrating the 100th episode of Top of the Morning Prayer that they do on Facebook Live every morning at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. So they have been having prayer every hour from 9 o'clock this morning, and they will end tonight at 9 p.m. So if if you have nothing else to do, if you just want to join in and pray, please inbox Wally Dixon or Mark Bullock on Facebook, and they will do that. I think my guest might be coming on. So again, please celebrate That of hello.
Hi, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
Doing good.
Sorry for the mix up.
Oh, it happens. I understand completely. It's happened to us all.
So, you guys, I want you to welcome Joe Barksdale to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I am so excited again to have you here to take time out and for you to be a Detroiter.
Yeah.
Um, I'm super excited. Again, for those who do not know, he was a former NFL player and he's representing Detroit. Where are you living now?
Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas.
Hmm.
And so I'm glad that he's here. Also, we're going to talk about autism awareness.
Hmm.
So just starting off, can you tell us what exactly is autism?
Um, the way it was explained to me was it's a neurological disorder, although certain autistic people would not want to use the word disorder. My best way of explaining it is it's a hardwired difference. Difficulty understanding yourself and your emotions, difficulty understanding other people and their emotions. It's like it's like it's like being an Xbox in a world full of PlayStations.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
because
So yeah,
I mean they
definitely
both
an
work.
Xbox and PlayStation is two different, even though we're all in the same game system,
Hmm.
but they operate totally different.
Hmm. Same or like iOS and Android, like iPhone versus Android.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a
So
good analogy, yes.
yeah,
So when were you should I say diagnosed?
diagnosed. Oh yeah, it was
Okay.
2 years
I want
ago.
to be politically correct. I don't want to get in trouble.
What does that mean? Like politically correct? If somebody's gonna dish you for trying to figure out about autism, how dare you try to get more information? Cancel. No.
So when
Yeah.
when when were you told that you had autism?
When I was 30, so 2 years ago. Um,
30.
yep, 30 years old.
So you didn't have these issues when you were in school?
I had the issues, we just didn't know what they were. Or, like it looks different when you're undiagnosed. Maybe you're a bad kid, maybe it looks like you don't care. It comes across a bunch of depending on how you present, but it comes across a bunch of different ways. So yeah.
So when I was doing this, well, let's say study or trying to do a flyer for it, a lot of the pictures for autism all had puzzle pieces. And I was like, wow, that's different. And so I know in some movies where they depict people who have autism, it's like uh, they're trying to figure out the puzzle. Or, they say, well, there's a puzzle piece missing. So, as growing up with autism, knowing that you had it all along, but they never diagnosed you with it, what were some of the things that maybe felt different for you?
Being around people, especially people I don't know. I'm very uneasy around people I don't know because I don't know you. And, especially being a kid, growing up in a black household, you got some woman that you ain't seen since you were an infant. You don't remember me? And you like 14, 15. No, I don't remember you. Like, but stuff like that, being pushed and forced in those social interactions. Another difficult thing, I can't read faces unless someone is like laughing. But even then, I don't know what you're laughing at. I mean, unless I'm on stage doing comedy. So another thing for me was not being able to read like social cues or situations or things like that. And that got me in a lot of trouble from time to time. But you know what? I am who I am. Like I'm exactly the way that God made me. And as opposed to being one of those people that's like, oh, look at all the things that are wrong with me, or that. It's just who I am. You know,
Mhm.
like being tall is advantageous to some people and other people is not. And vice versa. So I'm just, and that's something that I was able to do before the autism diagnosis. The autism diagnosis definitely helped with that, but just being comfortable with who I am, and that's okay. Like I don't like using iPhones. I like using Android phones. And most people that have iPhones will give you a hard time about it. And my response is like, well, fuck you. Because if all you worried about is a cell phone, we ain't even on the same wavelength, no way. So I'm just using it to communicate, you know. So I'm sorry. Did I just say fuck?
Yes, you did, and you said it
Oh,
again, but it's okay. That's only
oh,
who you are. It's all
okay. I'm
right.
sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I still try to keep a certain amount of decorum. The children could be watching. Mommy, what's fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay, so
but yeah,
how did you with okay, so I'm thinking what position did you play in football?
offensive tackle.
Okay, so you had to read plays, right?
Hmm.
So how was that for you? Like I would think, the X and O's and all of that.
Oh, that was easy. I mean, because it was just you were just completing a task. I mean, people ask why it was so easy to play in front of so many people or so many big stages, but really at the end of the day, you're just completing a task. In my mind, I'm just completing a task, and it's the same with now with the music and the comedy situations that will have people super nervous. I have the task to focus on, and that's all. You know, I'm very good at the tunnel vision.
Okay. So with autism, like you were saying earlier, that it comes across differently with different people.
Hmm.
So was it
like like in public, some people may see me as like, oh, this dude's standoffish, or he thinks he's better than me, or you know, he thinks he's elite because he doesn't want to talk to any other people. And on the inside, I'm like, there's a bunch of people in here. I've never been here before. I'm scared to death. I want to
okay?
go home.
Hmm.
I don't feel comfortable. You know. Um, so it comes across differently. The same actions and situations will come across differently with the lack of that information. You know.
Okay. So basically, like say for like you said, for lack of social skills or
Oh, I'm socially
um
retarded. Like socially retarded. Like, and I can say retarded. I already checked. I can technically go compete in the Special Olympics if I wanted to, but I'm gonna just stop
really?
at retarded. Yup. If you're autistic, you can compete in this because it's a mental disorder, so you can compete in the Special Olympics.
Right. Okay.
No one would respect that, and not because I would win, but because I would take that shit easy and get embarrassed by by all the other contestants.
Well, I will say this. I didn't know. I know there has been like Special Olympics, right?
Mm.
So in Tokyo, they did. I was watching the swimming and I watched track and field, and so it was hard for me. I didn't read the captures at first, and so I was looking at these people and I'm like, well, what's the handicap? I don't see it. And
Yeah.
so when you said that, that was like ding, ding, ding. I'm thinking they're normal, but they're not. And so I'm according to what the world says is normal. Let me
Well, there's no
correct
such
that.
thing as normal. Any
Yeah.
philosopher will tell you that. There's no such thing as normal.
So when I was looking, I'm like, okay, well, there's some type of advantage to this. And they like, no, it was something again that we might not physically see, but it's something actually going on in the inside with them. And
Hmm.
so did you have moments where I won't say blackout, but some people physically, rock or you ever had those
Oh,
moments?
that's called stimming. Stimming. And yeah, I do that. Like sometimes I like nod my head to music that's not playing. I also have or usually I like rub my hands on my arms or my shoulders or something like that. But I also have little fidget toys and stuff I use too. Um, so yeah, I got a
So
couple of
what
things.
is that? What exactly does that do for you? What you just showed me?
This
Yes.
uh, gives me something else to think about. Gives me something else to focus on. Helps me focus. Period. Um, and helps me. I don't know if the word is center myself, but it just helps especially when I'm sitting still,
Okay.
like talking to somebody.
Um,
Because it's weird to be in a conversation and we're talking, and I'm like,
right.
as we're
So
talking.
really you're not there. You just
Hmm?
went somewhere.
No. It's just, that's just a stem. Like I can do that and still talk. It's just
Uh-huh.
something. how can it's something you do. It's almost like hugging yourself,
Okay.
like calming yourself down.
So I have a nephew who I believe they said it was autism. And when he was younger, we thought um that he couldn't hear, like something was wrong with his hearing. And he used to fall, he used to bump into things, and we like, well, because we didn't know. We
I
we
still do that as
thinking,
a grown man.
yeah, what?
I had to go to the hospital 2 months ago because
Uh-huh.
I tripped outside and hit my foot on the outside porch and busted my toe open. Like just some clumsy autistic stuff. I hurt myself at least like twice a day.
Really? Okay.
And it's so frustrating. But it's either I hurt myself or I drop something. You know it's gonna happen, but it still happens. I don't know. I can identify with that.
Yeah. So eventually, we got his ears cleaned out and things like that. And then the older he got, we thought, okay, with the speech, different things of that nature. And then eventually, we eventually got the diagnosis that, yeah, there's something going on. But what got me with him when he really started going to school is um, he was good with numbers, counting money, but as
Mm.
far as reading, he really couldn't do. And so, with how his mother is a teacher and how she perceived and had the IPs and things of that nature, he began to be more of a social butterfly.
Mm.
And then he would say, well, Auntie, my goal for the year is to learn how to read. And, but he could count, but he couldn't read. And so now is I look at him, he's tall, he's in the ninth grade now, and it's his world. And we have to understand he's not like everybody else, but we don't treat him differently.
Mm.
And so now that you have the diagnosis on paper, do you feel like people treat you differently?
No, honestly, I say if anything, I just use it as excuses to not continue conversations I don't want to have. Like for example, I don't like talking about football. In fact, autism is the reason I got into football in the first place. Without getting into it, I did some incredibly autistic things that got me kicked out of this engineering camp. I was trying to play. It was not trying to play. I didn't know it wasn't trying to play. So I got kicked out, and I needed something to do over the summer, and that's how I started playing football. But I can definitely relate to what you were talking about with the different struggles that he has, and that's why they call it a spectrum, because like no two people are gonna have the exact same things going on. Like for me, reading, writing, math, all that, I was doing that early. But socially, I'm still socially retarded to the day, and I'm
Okay.
32. Like if we went in public somewhere, that's when people like, because people are like, Joe, you're not autistic. I don't know. Every time we're in public, it's like, oh yeah, this dude, okay. But so yeah, there's different advantages and different advantages and different disadvantages that come with each person's experience with autism. But I am a firm believer that there's just as many cool things. There's more cool things about autism than there are not. Autism is the reason I've been able to pick up music. Autism is the reason I've been able to, everything that I've been interested in, being able to pick it up so fast. So it's got its positives and its negatives for sure. But
So
that
what
is
type
that's
of
a spectrum.
music soothes you with your autism?
What type of music?
Mhm.
The biggest one, honestly, is and I listen to a bunch of different types of music. But like anything with like a good 808 knock is very soothing because I don't just hear sounds, I can feel them. So like,
Okay.
have you heard the new Kanye West Donda album?
No.
Okay. I don't know why you look like that. Then this interview's over. No, no, and you can get the hell out of here. I'm trying to think of another. Have you heard that Drake song "Way Too Sexy"?
Okay.
You heard that one?
Yes.
You know how the bass feels? Doom, 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 doom. Yeah, that's very soothing. I mean, don't get me wrong, you still turn up to it, but like I would also listen to that. Like I could go to sleep to that too. Is what I'm
Okay.
saying. Yeah.
That was gonna be my next question. Like, is that like, as we call it, white noise? Is that's how it feels to you?
Between that and then there's this thing on YouTube called ASMR, or it's not just on YouTube, but that really helps me out a lot too. And
Okay.
there's this app called Calm. It's like a meditation app, but they have like these sleep stories. I actually have a sleep story like that I'm reading on Calm, but I listen to other people's sleep stories, and that helps me go to sleep too.
Well, I just did a paper on it's called AutoJack. Have
Okay.
you heard of it?
Mm-mm.
So it's a new app
I'm on
where
a drug, but I'm listening.
it's coming out where they have actually tested on the deaf, the blind, and I believe in autism, and it's no noise at all. It's more so like to be able to have your imagination heightened, and so you might want to check into that.
Yeah, I'm definitely
It's
will.
called AutoJack, like
Okay.
auto,
Hijack, low jack, auto jack.
yeah, AutoJack.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you want to might want to check that one out, where they're it's not silent movies, but they're getting more into it, so it's more like the colors, the all of this, where it's like not like mesmerizing, but it's supposed to calm you unless your
Okay.
imagination take over.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. I definitely look into that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was that. And then with music, and you said comedy. So how are you doing comedy on yourself, or what are you doing?
I do the comedy the same way I do music. One of the things about being autistic, you don't have the best luck with communicating with people a lot of the time, getting your ideas and stuff across. And I find it very easy to express my feelings, my thoughts and emotions through a song or a joke, as opposed to just one-on-one conversation. And it seems to work. People dig it, so let's keep doing it. But my music and my comedy are one and the same. They're just open letters to the world that show who I am and how I feel.
So how do you feel being from as we say, from Detroit,
Uh huh.
and growing up in a city and in a world where um you can be on edge, you can be yourself, you can take it to another level. So what high school did you actually go to here?
Cass.
You went to Cass?
Yeah, I didn't want to. My parents made me go to Cass. I didn't want to.
Oh,
Because I feel like not all people from Cass. I feel like people from Cass got their heads up their ass. Like it's a high school. Calm down. Like you're not changing the world because you barely got your degree at Cass Tech. Take your ass back to McDonald's and keep flipping them hamburgers, Lucille. Sorry. But you know what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers run around with. I'm sorry, I said it again. People run around with all this Cass Tech perfect. Cass Tech number one, second, and that. You won 2 state championships and a couple volleyball games. If y'all don't sit down somewhere, like it's just. Sorry if you can't tell. Cass Tech people really annoy the hell out of me.
oh, I see.
Like that. I mean, I don't even tell people where I went to high school unless they ask. Like, I went to high school. Oh, yeah, inner city Detroit. Which one? It was a Detroit public school. Which one? It was Cass, man. Cass. Oh, Cass Tech. Shut up. It's just a high school. And if you from Cass and you listening, it's just a high school.
You got my jaws hurting.
I'm sorry, but that's really how I feel. You know I'm right. That's why it's funny.
Well, I'm
Wait, did
just
you go to
going
Cass?
to say this. I know a couple of people, my own flesh and blood. My baby sister went to Cass Tech and she's watching right now.
Oh, Cass Tech. Where'd you go?
Huh? Where did I go? I went to Osborne.
Oh, so you went somewhere where people have some sense, for sure. Okay, that's fine. People can say all they want to about Cass. Cass went out in the 70s, all right?
Woo! You
Cass
got my
want to talk
jaws
all
hurting.
that. We the best. Cass ain't been the best high school in the city since Jimi Hendrix died. That's
Stop it.
all right. I'm done. Because I don't hate cast either, but I do hate cast technicians. Does that make sense?
No, it don't.
Because they're so full of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like okay, like I don't hate white people, but I hate the Klan. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like cast tech graduates are like the Klan to me. Y'all just doing too much for no reason. But yeah. I'm sure that'll be on the Detroit Free Press tomorrow.
Yeah,
Joe
right.
Barksdale compares cast technicians to the Ku Klux Klan.
Oh my gosh, you got my jaws hurting. Stop it.
Sorry.
You're gonna get us all in trouble.
But that's how it goes. That's where the comedy comes from. That's just how I feel. You know? I feel like it's some bullshit. Like, I remember when Jay-Z was allowed to be principal for a day at cast, and this man flew all the way from New York making all them hits just to walk in the hallway? They didn't let him do nothing. You know how embarrassed I was to be a Detroiter at that time? Embarrassed, all right? Embarrassed. Fucking cast.
Wow. I mean, well, at the time, especially.
And I'm going to tell you this too. My mama teach at cast, and I don't like my mama.
I am definitely, ma'am, I didn't say a word. I was sitting here on my couch.
Who's ma'am? You talking to my mom?
Yes.
Man, fuck her. It don't matter what she think. What you think, she about to shut down the interview?
Oh my gosh.
Sorry. And see, this is where the autism comes out. This is how it comes.
You're gonna get us all in trouble.
With who?
I don't know, but we gonna get in trouble.
See, that's that slavery mentality that they be talking about. You's thinking differently. You's gonna get us in trouble. Well, stay here then. I'm going on the Underground Railroad. See y'all niggas in Canada. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. People are too afraid of things that they shouldn't even be afraid of these days. What's gonna happen? Somebody don't like you, so what? There's billions of people in the world. Somebody ain't gonna like what you said, boo-hoo. There's a bunch of people that don't like Trump. He got elected president of the United States. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to stop worrying about, like, I don't know. I think we worry too much about what other people think, and we shouldn't. Because if we really were able to look into those other people's minds, you would see that they hate themselves too, and they so busy hating themselves they ain't even thinking about you. You know. But that's another story for another time.
So I also read that you did back to school.
Oh yeah, I did.
The book bags here. How did that turn out?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, it got a little hood halfway through. You try to do something for the community, giving backpacks away. We gave away free haircuts, manicures for the ladies, you know, that kind of thing. There were free people, there were musicians and so forth performing outside. We had a DJ, and people still had the nerve to try to steal bags. Y'all, if you listening, you need to be ashamed of yourself. Y'all know one woman had 8 bags and no kids. Ma'am, where are you going and what? I almost called the police. This is ridiculous.
Wow.
The only reason I didn't call the police is because you don't need no accidental shootings at a backpack giveaway.
No, we don't need that either. So are you working on an actual album, or are you just doing songs?
Yeah. I'm working on an album. So the plan for this year was to get out music from the producer side of me, because I also do production now, music production. So I've been releasing one song per Monday for the entire year, 52 weeks. I divided them into 4 projects. So every 13 weeks, that's a new project. They're based off of 4 of my biggest artistic influences. So this year, it was Kanye West, George Lucas. Right now, we're in the Jimi Hendrix portion, and then it'll be Marvin Gaye. The beautiful thing about these projects, they're all available on social media. They're all available on anywhere you can stream music, including YouTube. I mean, shit. Download it on LimeWire or Napster. I don't care. Just listen to it. But they're all available there. And the cool thing about it is, if you look at the first letters of each track, of each project, for Kanye West, for example, his project is titled Omari, because I'm not getting sued for naming something Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna have me at the Mercedes-Benz Dome. Anyway, it's named Omari, and the first letter of each song spells out Kanye West. And it's the same for George Lucas and the same for Jimmy and Marvin. Now that we mentioned it, maybe that attention to detail is also autistic. I don't know. Maybe it's autistic. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, that's what I've been doing this year. I also released a Star Wars project this year. Now next year I will be recording my first comedy special, and I will also be releasing my first, what is it called, feature length studio album. Like, this is like a legitimate, like, went to Arlen Studios, which is the best studio in Austin, Texas. Everybody and their grandmas recorded there, so hopefully they're not embarrassed when my song comes out, or when my songs come out. But it's gonna be 16 tracks. It's coming out next year. I'm pretty sure there'll be like singles and stuff that come out before it, but it's gonna be fantastic. I'm also in the process of collaborating with a bunch of other artists as well as also collaborating with a bunch of different, I was about to say magicians, with a bunch of different comedians in terms of, like, putting shows together, taking regional trips, that kind of thing. So in short, I'm working. I'm trying to be,
That's good. So, as far as later on in life, marriage, children, do you want to do any of those?
Nah, not really, man. I couldn't see myself like being married for real. My heart is just so. I'm just playing, man. I got a wife and 2 kids. This whole time you just look like, oh man, who hurt you? That's so.
So, I'm not even gonna ask that question. Jesus.
Wait, what was?
So how do she
Deal with me?
yes.
Drugs and alcohol. No, I'm just playing. So we've actually known each other since I was in like the 5th grade. We went to Bates Academy together. We went to
I almost went there.
What years? No, I ain't gonna do you like that. But I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do Bates like that. Cause yeah, it's I don't know. You know how people get nostalgic about the time they were at a place, and it's like it'll never be better than when I was there. But
Was Bates at the top? What Bates was what, elementary and middle school, or was it just elementary?
Elementary and middle, and I was there
So
for kindergarten.
when I was in elementary school, I got invited to go to Bates.
Oh.
And the year they invited me, it was an overwhelming people going to the school. So I ended up just staying at the elementary school I was at. But well, at that time, Bates were like cast to elementary and middle school at the time.
You ain't lying. Why? How did I go to all these pretentious ass Detroit? It's like these schools forgot. Like, you still a Detroit public school. I don't know. I don't know if you think you spent. Oh, we got uniforms. You can still get shot on the way here if you ride the bus. All right, relax. But yeah, we both went to Bates. We went to Cass. We started getting close at Cass. Like, I knew her at Bates, but it wasn't one of those love and basketball stories. Like, the first time meeting her, it was like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. Bye. We started riding to school together in high school. A friend of ours, I'm gonna put her name out there because I don't care. No, I'm gonna do it because it's not gonna hurt her job or nothing. This is high school. Her name Carla Rivers. I don't know if y'all know who Carla Rivers is, but thanks to Carla Rivers, I am married now because Carla would be late every morning to get us to school, so we were missing our first hours. And it eventually got around to where Brianna got a car, and I would just carpool with her. And we got really close. She was, she's one of my oldest friends. Like, out of all the friends I have, I only have one friend that I've known longer than Brianna, and I met her in kindergarten. So, Brianna's there before I was an athlete, before I was mentally ill, like the diagnosis, before I was diagnosed autistic, all that, before I knew how to play music. So
with your music, are you self-taught or?
With the guitar, I'm not self-taught, but with like everything else, I am. Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay. So what all instruments do you play?
So I play the guitar, the xylophone. No, I'm just playing. I play the guitar, I play the bass. I actually just got a new guitar if you want to see it. It's red. The other day. It's a Gibson. It's beautiful. It's called an ES335. Mm-hmm. But so I play guitar, I play bass, regular guitar and bass guitar. I also play the Akai MPC drum machines, like the pro level ones. I also play the 808 drum machine, which I have currently connected to the computer. What else do I play?
I see the keyboard behind you.
That's what, okay. Yeah, I can play the keys, and I also sing. But I really use that to practice stand up. Um, but yeah, those are the things that I play.
Anything else you want to add to the list?
I play myself sometimes when I set goals that I can't reach. No, I'm just playing. No, I can't. Is there anything else that I play? Guitar, drums, yeah, I do everything but brass, like trumpets and stuff or horns.
Mhm.
But you can do that on drum machines and stuff. But I listen to a bunch of different types of music, so um, I can play a bunch of different types of music with the stuff I showed you already.
So what you saying you have 2 children, correct?
Yep, 2 baby girls. And they
So
leave stuff around the house like girlfriend. They think we in relationships right now. Look at this. They'll go different places. They leave different stuff like in my closet or in this is in this is this is in the studio. They don't even play with this toy, but it's in the studio. It's like they just want you to know, hey, we here. Don't forget about us. But one is 3, the other one is 4. The 4-year-old turns 5 in December. She's getting too big, too fast. Not really. But I can't even put into words how much I love my kids, man. I've learned actually so much about how much God loves me from the relationship that I have with my children, which has been beautiful. I mean, as an African American, especially in the United States, your view of Christianity can be kind of like your view of sex, or your view of God, I should say. It's kind of like your view of sex. When God's introduced to you the right way at the right time, it's beautiful. But if it's introduced to you the wrong way or at the wrong time, it's something you'll be recovering from forever. Mm-hmm. And I know that experience both with God and sex, being someone who was molested when they were younger. So, you know what I mean?
wow.
Oh, it looked like you were waiting for the joke. There was no joke.
I'm like, so wow. So
in fact, I was my youngest daughter's age. She's 3.
So at 3, you was molested?
At daycare. And I
at a
didn't trust my parents
daycare.
enough to tell them. Yeah.
I was just so how does a person now being a person who has survived these things, how does your mind process something like that?
Molestation?
Mm-hmm.
It's weird for me because, and just let me know if I'm going too far. It was weird for me because like all the perpetrators were women. So for me it was like it was cool. Like being someone, a little background, my parents wanted girls. I knew that very early on. So it felt like wow, this is cool. This is what in my mind, this is what unconditional love feels like. Not what unconditional love really is, but in my mind, that's what I thought it was. And so I always had this like disproportionate relationship to women where like I'm really only comfortable talking to women. When it comes to like being intimate with women, with anyone, pretty much, I am currently learning how to be intimate. And I'm not talking about, most people think intimacy is just sex. But I'm talking deeper than that. Just like, being not your real self, but, just opening up fully and accepting and being accepted and all that. That's stuff that I'm still learning. I'm incredibly shallow. Like, I know I could be wrong, but I think that is one of the reasons why I am incredibly shallow. But like different things like that, being comfortable being alone, not really trusting people. I used to sleepwalk. I used to piss the bed till I was like early 20s. These were all side effects of but yeah. There are a bunch of different things that could have happened to me. I could have became a sex addict. I could have became a pimp or a male prostitute or those kind of things. But I would say that those things not happening to me are indicative of the healing that happened in the places that it needed to in order for me to be able to move past those. But at the same time, like my self-esteem is incredibly low. Like incredibly low. Like the only
Even
time I really,
now?
yeah, like the only time I feel good is if I'm on stage, like at the end of a performance or at the end of a comedy show. And
Is that because it's people that don't know you, or like don't know your history? They're there for that entertainment part. Is
I
that how
just
you feel?
no, I just feel like I feel like I express myself successfully,
Hmm.
you know. So yeah, and it
So
feels good to hear
you're
that you put me.
saying all of this is, which is amazing to me, that you're having holding a whole conversation with me though, and you're okay, right?
Yeah.
So I would have thought that, different things of what happened, or how you said your self-esteem, you wouldn't do things like this.
When I was younger, I wish that there was someone like me who would say the things that I thought and felt and never came. So I decided to be that person for somebody else.
Absolutely. I
So
understand.
yeah.
Something that blew my mind yesterday. I was on a conference call, and she said sometimes the struggles that you go through, or the most thing that you fear, the most thing that you have gone through in your life, ends up being the ministry that God uses for you.
I agree.
So with you having autism, with you being molested, with you having all of these things, now it's the time where God's going to use you to be a blessing to other people. Like you said, you look for someone to tell it, to look like me, to have something to I can relate to, and it never happened. Well, guess what? We're both in the same situation, because God told me this year that I was going to become the help that I once needed.
That's powerful.
Isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So now God has set it up that I'm talking to you to encourage you that, guess what? You too are going to be the help that somebody else needs.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've tried to kill myself too. I kind of came to
Been
that
there
conclusion.
too.
Yeah, I kind of came to that conclusion after the last attempt. Like, hey, bro,
It's
we're not
not
just
going to
gonna sit
work.
here and be super sad. Like, we can at least help other people. Don't be so selfish. And
It's
get
not
better at
going to help
suicide. No, I'm
it.
just playing. I'm just.
It's not going to work.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna work.
So some of us have to be trailblazers. Is it going to be easy? No. Is everybody going to understand your story all the time? No. Are
Just
they
like
going to
Kanye.
understand you? No. But
Just
it's
like
all
Kanye.
good, because guess what? As I'm learning and maturing, because I'm a little older than you, is we take the lessons that God has given us, the hard lessons, the stuff that we didn't want to go through, the things that happened to us in the dark. You said some powerful things that people, um, doesn't matter if you have autism or not, it happens. It
Mm-hmm.
happens to us all. And this is the whole point of my show, that you have to be in a place to be honest with yourself, and to be honest and tell your story. This is what it's here for. To be able to say, I can go on Sunshine Show, and I guarantee you, in all the shows that I've had, somebody on here is going to touch what I need to be touched.
Mm-hmm.
I want everybody to be real. I don't tell people questions up front, because I want you to be authentic. I want you to think about it. I want it, whatever comes out of your heart, that's what it needs to be. There is no judgment zone, none of that, because we're not in a place to judge, for one. What I have known, that me and you were going to talk about some real life situations on this show, I had no idea, no clue. But you're here telling something that you most likely wouldn't even tell your next door neighbor.
Yeah, I would. right before I tell them I didn't move here to have neighbors. I like the house. I'm not trying to talk to you. Like, I'm that honest. You know what I mean? And that's not to say that I hate my neighbors or nothing, but yeah, to all of y'all who moved places before, you never moved in the area and like, let me see what the people next door are talking about. You know what I'm saying? But I'm honest with anybody and everybody. Because there's no reason not to be. You're gonna find out about it later on anyway, you know.
Yeah, and everybody is not everybody's cup of tea, but you
Okay,
do
and that's a
have an
lie.
audience.
I'm not honest with everybody. Sometimes I do lie to people when they ask me if I play football. This woman came up to me one time with an article with my face on it. Is this you? And I looked her dead in the eyes and was like, no, and that's racist that you think we all look alike. And just turned around and walked away.
So what is it that outside of, you got kicked out of the school just to play football, or that, sub-happily you just play football. So what is it about it that you don't like?
Because when people find out you play football, all of a sudden you some dumb hood ass nigga that can't do nothing else but play football.
Okay.
And they'll never say it that way, but that's what it is. Like, you lose your privacy. It goes from like, this is me and this is someone else. And it's like, oh, you play football? Oh, do you play football? Yeah, I do. So tell me, and it's like, bro, back up. 6 feet, COVID. But then also, like, people just assume that's what pisses me off more than anything. That you assume you see this large black dude and I knew you had to play football. That's the only way your ass can be in the suburbs. And that shit started to fuck with me too, because I'm like, damn, I am a statistic. Which is one of the reasons why I had to walk away. But yeah, like and people don't realize they do it. And I was, some people are probably listening right now. Yeah, all them white people. It's Negroes too. And there's more Negroes than any other race, honestly. Oh, I knew you had to play football. You're the football player. You're not the. I was about to say the wife. In some cases, if you a dude, you want to be a wife, that's fine. I'm not here to stop you. But you're not the husband, the spouse. You're not a spouse. You're not a parent. You're not an artist. You're not a Christian. You're not a human being. You're just a fucking football player, and I don't have time for that. And honestly, another part of me automatically assumes that like football fans are ignorant racists, whether they're black, white, or other.
Mm-hmm.
That's the truth.
So the last time I'm gonna say anything about football. So how long did you play?
Oh, we can talk about football because like one of the reasons I felt that way is because I broke my knee. And there's nothing more humbling than like not being able to stand up in front of hundreds of thousands and then millions of people watching. And as you're getting carted off the field, you hear, "Get up, nigger!" from some dude in the stands that knows you can't do nothing about it, And that's just one example. The whole taking knees during the national anthem thing, like people are disrespecting the flag. Like you don't see fans in the stands ordering beers, taking dick pics on their phones, making phone calls, gestures, screaming over the national anthem. But someone wants to silently take a knee and that's a problem? So as you can see, there's just a bunch of things that are surrounded by football. The super slave breeding program. The only reason I am this size in the first place, as much as we want to talk about football size, is because of the super slave breeding program. I could keep going, but I'm going to just stop right there. I mean, football is like, not to mention it's the second-rate professional sports in the country. You ask any Negro right now, hey, you want to watch this basketball game or you want to watch this football game? He's going to pick basketball. And he should. The NBA is the better organization. That's a whole nother story, though. But, I mean, even if you look at the NBA, they actually let their players say things when people that look like them get killed in the streets. Whereas in football, what, you're protesting the flag? What kind of sense does that make? I don't know. Football fans are just a bunch of fucking Trump supporters. That's how I feel. I'm sorry if you're a football fan. That's just how I feel. I'm not saying my feelings are right, but I would look at a football fan as like someone with a jersey.
You are entitled to your opinion.
Okay. Well, in my opinion, if you have a football jersey on, you may as well have a Make America Great Again hat on too. They go together.
Mm-hmm. So how long did you play football?
8 years. I played 8 years in the NFL and then 4 years in college. Because it's funny because the way I be coming across, you think like this motherfucker played for two days. You just play for 2 minutes. They let you in the locker room and cut you. Nah, I played for 8 years. I had a career.
So before we get off, because I think time be going so fast when you do an hour, I'll tell you, you get to talking. How are you as the balanced person? Like I'm concerned not just because of autism or all of this, but how are you as a balanced husband and father?
Oh, I pride myself on being like a very good husband and father. I actually, um, years before he died, I built a relationship with Kobe Bryant, who became my mentor in everything but sports. One of the things we talked about the most was raising kids and being a husband. And I still use a lot of the stuff that he told me to this day. There is no better father than me. No, I'm just playing. I know I'm not perfect, but everything that I do for my kids and my wife is out of love. My wife, I want her, you know how it is. You love your spouse, you want the best for them, that kind of thing. And I don't want my kids to grow up to be like me. So,
You don't want them to grow up to be like you in what way?
like mentally ill and unstable and lonely and no one understands you, so you don't really have any friends. And you playing life by ear because you don't have parents to call and ask about anything, and you don't trust people, so you don't really open up to people. So you just move through life alone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need the kids doing any of that. On top of also like, the sexual abuse things and that kind of thing. I always told myself I wanted my kids, if nothing else, I know I can't stop things from happening. I want you to be comfortable enough to come talk to me. Because that's something I never had with my parents. I can tell you the last conversation I had with my parents. That was about how I really felt. And I was like 8 or 9. It was the night before my birthday. Mom asked me if I was excited about my birthday. And I was like, nah. To be honest with you, the way y'all acted would probably be, y'all make it seem like it'd be better if I wasn't born. I'm really not happy being born. And I got cussed out, you know? Like, they didn't even sit there and think, like, damn, what am I doing to make him feel that way,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't want them to be 32 years old still trying to learn what intimacy is.
I understand. Well, I had a good time talking to you.
Oh, me too. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. I know if you do something, big or once you do your album, of course, I will reach out to or reach back out to me and
Okay.
I will get you back on here again. And all the other things that's going on with autism awareness, please let me know. I would
Okay.
definitely support. I would definitely get you back on the show so you can talk to me. And we won't talk about cast and we won't talk about base
That's what I'm saying.
academy.
We can talk about whatever. It's not like I was like angry. It's all jokes. I mean, that's how I feel, but I'm a firm believer that like every strong emotion doesn't need to be like flat out rage and anger because a lot of stuff is just funny, you know.
I get it. I
You
get
know.
it.
Like, why don't cops ever accidentally shoot their black counterparts? Okay, I'm sorry, but oh, sorry, Malik. Uh, the safety's off as usual. Cut your body cam off. Okay, I'm done.
I'm not in it at all. All right, sir. Well, I'm gonna have to catch up with you. I got another show after you.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate you.
No problem. I'll see you soon.
Okay, have a good rest of your week.
All right, you too.
Peace.
Bye bye.